I love math. I love math.
Hey, Savannah Stats students. You know, we gotta climb this ladder. Sometimes you don't want to do it. Sometimes you think I can't do it. Sometimes you want to do it, but you're not sure how to do it. Well, at least you can take a step and you can try to do it. One day you say, I can do it, and I will do it. And then at the very top, yes, I did it. And now it's time for our world famous...
It's time for game plans.
Thank you, Mr. Frank. Week number 8, September 27th to October 1st, 2021. Wow, we already passed the first 2 months of school. We are finishing up Chapter 1, box plots, outliers, and describing locations in a distribution. We got all this awesome stuff for you guys. Take advantage of that virtual tutoring. Pop on anytime. Ask them, hey, what do you think about this? You can ask them even questions about college and things like that. Hey guys, let's have some school pride. Don't forget to be in your seats when the bell rings before at the end of class. Let's talk about a Room 902 news. Grades, just because you turn in a late assignment doesn't mean I grade it. You need to go through late work. I added that new participation. Khan Academy is due this week. If you need more details, click on there, and to check your minutes, just read that. Quiz number 2 is closing, so it's closing this Tuesday at 9 a.m. Do it in class if you have not finished it. Office hours. Detentions. Last Friday, I doubled your detentions. Those are on the board. And then this Friday, I'm erasing it, which means it will be now subtracted from your participation grade. I got all these clubs, and of course, if you need tech, you can scan that really small QR code. We need to keep adding more because I think you might need it. Week number 8 essential question again is, how do you describe outliers and their location? Let's take a look at a week at a glance. Monday, I'm showing you guys this week at a glance number 8. I'm releasing lesson 1.A and B. It's the same Google document. It's just I split up into 2. Quiz number 2 is closing. Once that closes, then if you're really anxious, you can start quiz corrections. Wednesday, homework 1.8, Thursday, lesson 1.9, and Friday, homework 1.9. And I want to peek ahead to week number 9. Monday, we're going to do week at a glance number 9, and then a chapter 1 test review. And then we got a work day. And then on Wednesday, 9.5, the chapter 1 test opens. You'll take it. Then Thursday, we'll start chapter 2, lesson 2.1, and then I need to get a link for homework 2.1. And hey guys, this is a minimum day at Savannah. It marks the end of the first quarter. Let's talk about your chapter 1 test review options. All right, in the chapter 1 test review, you have a menu of options. I have more than 3 doors this time. You need to complete minimum of 1 option. Complete a minimum of 1 option. And I'm willing to let you complete one extra option for extra credit. Maximum 1, you can't do all of them. So let's take a look at our 4 options. Now for our 4 options, I want to talk about some football. I was watching football, and the LA Chargers did a big upset, but they got penalized. That's why I have this referee guy. They made the same mistake 2 weeks in a row, and it actually cost them touchdowns for each time they made this mistake. They did something called the illegal motion. But they didn't learn from their mistakes. And that's the reason why in math class I have something called quiz corrections. So if you have not already, I don't want you to be like the LA Chargers and not make the same mistake. So make sure you complete this pre-game show, I call it. So make sure you watch this just once. Okay, let me go over the 4 options. Option number 1, you complete last year's quiz number 3. Tells you it's on September 25th from 2020. You go to my website, stats, quiz corrections, change the tab, and then you can see that. Let's see if I can go there really quickly. Okay, here's my website, mrmathing.net. I'm going to click on math classes, and then click on statistics. quiz and test corrections, and then basically you have here all of my quizzes and tests from the past couple of years. When quiz number 2 closes, I'll put a blank and a video solution, so you need to change it to last year's tab right there. And scroll down, there's, we're not gonna have time to take a third quiz for chapter 1, but you can click on here for the blank and right here for the video solution. That was option number 1, okay? Option number 2, I just showed you, the one that's gonna close. Option number 3, last year's old chapter 1 test. So again, if you go back, it says right there, old chapter 1 test, September 26, 2020, there's a blank, fill it out, and then grade yourself, go over it, and then write a complete sentence if you made a mistake, and do the problem over again. That's what a quiz correction is. And then option 4 is you have last year's chapter 1 test. Taken September 30th, 2020. I'm showing you in the same directions, just go, it's right there. Okay, so the number 1 is just make sure you switch the tabs at the bottom. It's telling you all the topics that we will have learned. That'll be on the test, and I'm trying to give you guys some practice before. All right, let's look at our red light, yellow light, green light. Everything in red here has been graded and has been updated in Aries. If you need to submit a late assignment, you go here. Remember, even if you turn it in through eCadence or the Google Forms, I won't know that you've done it unless you've gone through this late work. Basically creates a spreadsheet and alerts me. I'm going to talk about these interview signups in a second, and then next week on your test day, those assignments are due. Let's talk about this interview signup. So I always root for the underdog, and this is what I actually wrote in a survey. They asked me about my classroom and how it was for distance learning, and I said education has not been equitable. A lot of my students don't have access to a safe education at home. Some, not all. Some do not have good internet or a quiet place to do their work without distractions. I can see a greater divide for my students, those who have access and those who don't. I feel bad for some of my students. That's why I rooted for the Miami Heat when the Lakers won 2 years ago, and I'm rooting for the underdogs, those who have to overcome great challenges. So what is this culture of care interviews? Culture of care interviews. I want to find a way to get to know my students. It's a student-teacher connection. It's just 5 to 10 minutes. Last year I did this during distance learning, and it was the highlight of my students for year 2020 and 21. Just to sit down and talk about things that are not math and just talk about life. My students loved it. And my first 3 years of teaching, I also did this in my career, and I called them interviews. And basically it's about what's your story. So you're gonna sign up for an interview, and you're gonna sign up in 2 locations. Number 1, you're gonna fill it out in a monthly calendar for a time slot. Savannah High School students, you're gonna do that during class. And those who are online, CBA, you can do that during office hours. And anytime basically we don't have class. I don't have class. I think I wrote that below. And the second place you're gonna fill it out is a class roster, which I'll show you guys in a second. Savannah High School students, you're gonna do this during class. We're gonna only have 1 per day, 1 per period and 1 per day. CBA, you can do that during my office hours, periods 1, 2, and 6. During the regular school hours of 8 to 3:15, basically when I'm not teaching classes, and I'll show you guys my schedule. And basically what you'll do is you'll write your time, your period, and your first and your last name. Such as, maybe you want to do it tomorrow, so that would be September 27th, 8 a.m., period 2A, and this is my daughter, Allie. And we actually have the interview. It's 5,000 assignment points, so quite a bit. And I called it week 18 because that's the last week in December of first semester, but you can have it done before then. And then these are the reflection questions. Prepare to pick 3 to discuss. So Hallie can pick any of these 6 of them, and you're going to talk about these 3. So you just read them out loud during the interview, and then we talk about it. Alright, so let's go ahead and figure out how Hallie can sign up for a time. Okay, so down here on the tab, there is my hours. So let's just say Hallie wanted to sign up for, well, I teach a class at Savannah at 10:30, so anytime from 8:30 to 10:30, Hallie can sign up for it. So it's not on this one, but it's on this September 2021. So here it is. And so Hallie would write her time, so maybe she wanted to do 8 o'clock, period, and then she's gonna write her name. And it's okay if it goes, you can always make it smaller, like something like this. Okay, and so this is a calendar, and let me show you guys the class roster one. Alright, so here at the bottom I have the calendar, and then the next one is by your class roster. So find your period. So let's pretend Hallie's in period 2A, CBA. Here it is. Let me zoom in for you. And she's just gonna write her date that she had, 9/27 at 9 a.m. Oh, we said 8 a.m. And as long as she shows up for her interview for 5 to 10 minutes, I'll send you guys, CVA students, I'll probably send you like a Google Meet, and you just have to show up. And so that is our culture of care. Let's go back to the directions. So again, you're going to go over those 3 questions, and the big idea is you're going to put your date 2 places on the monthly calendar and the class roster.
And a math commandment that states, "Thou shalt not write thy math papers in ink." If you do write your math papers in ink, you cannot undo mistakes. A pencil can undo mistakes with an eraser.